Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of our Let's Play series of Industry Manager Future Technologies. Where we left off in our last video, which was the first video in our series, where we basically got started. We chose our initial plot of land, or sectors as they're known in this game. We got our first products and services going, which our first products were USB sticks and the PC games. So that's kind of where we left off. We got some of the basics going and set up shop in each of the 3 cities on the map. So things are moving along for us. As you can see at the beginning here, our brand strength is good. Looks like, who is this? DFX is doing pretty good as well. And then OmniWorks doesn't appear to be doing all that well right now at all. So we've got several things going on, but as far as what I want to accomplish in this video today, let's go ahead and unpause the game. I want to get our net profit up. This number is per day. Right now we're at 1,700. I want to get that increased. I also want to do some expansion, move into a new product of the console game. And in order to do that, we're going to need some additional research, and then we're going to build an additional software company. So as you can see right now, we're about 1,700. Let's go ahead and jump over here. I've got a feeling something isn't working right. So let's take a look, make sure everybody's got their products and services going where we need them to go. So here we're making the PC games and we're delivering PC games. Okay, we're good there. And here, so here we are making, I believe 89 was the highest. Yeah, that's our highest amount per day, but we're not taking them anywhere. So let's go ahead and add our route to the warehouse for our one product that we're making here. And that ought to really help us out. And let's go ahead and look at our quantities. As you can see, it's already starting to fill up. So excellent. So those will leave each day, and so we're off and running there. Excellent. You can see our net profit is already going up. That's what I like to see. So as far as what's going on now with our research, we have our final workforce. There it is. Our final workforce upgrade that is in progress right now, and which will enable us to increase production to what I believe is its maximum amount. Based on the upgrades I'm seeing right now, this will be our final upgrade. And so we'll upgrade our capacity to produce in each of the areas. And then we're going to work on an additional product, which let's go ahead and to look at that, let's go to the production tree. Right now we're doing the social network plugin. I'm not doing embedded systems, and the reason is because we would need to mine aluminum and then make plastics in a chemical factory. And that's just more than I want to get into right now in the game. That would a lot of cost in a chemical factory and another factory and all that kind of stuff. It's not where I want to go. So I want to go into these areas. As you can see, until we get to virtual assistant, there's really nothing else for us to do other than unlock some things through research. So that's what I'm going to focus on now. We're going to go ahead and unlock console game, and then I'm going to come back to additional software items that will not require us to do any mining or anything like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at our pricing now that we've got some things going on. Okay, so OmniWorks is progressing in their research. Now, one thing that I do want to point out that I'm sure you've most likely noticed at this point, as you can see, if you look at the items sold through the 3 cities, we're mostly selling in one city right now, and that's understandable. We don't have the production capacity right now to really operate in all 3 cities, and that's okay. I went ahead and set up shop there. Didn't really need to set up shop in all 3 cities, but I went ahead and got it done just so I wouldn't forget to do it later, basically. But for our pricing, we're really going to take a look and see, okay, how high can I raise this price before the units stored starts going up, obviously meaning that the units sold is going down. So we're at 88 here and very few units being stored. We're at 90. Let's go ahead and raise this up by 10, which is a big jump. And here, same thing. We're not storing any items. Let's go ahead and move this to 100. And let's let some time pass. And let's see how that affects how many we're selling and how many are going into storage. So our workforce is at 64%, but we've got room for 6 in the queue here. So what do I want to start on next? Well, looks like we've got one here. And so increased information storage will open up operating system, educational, so all the things we were looking at before. Game controller opens up console game. That's what we want. We want to do that. Then I want to come back to add this to the queue, which you can see our queue here. Second in the research queue after workforce is going to be our game controller. That opens up our console games. Then we're going to follow that up with increased information storage, which opens up several other products. Then after that, software toolkit, yes, we're going to want this as well. That'll be number 4. And then security protocols, we're going to line that up. That'll be number 5. And let's see, where do we go next? We've got quality, production line cost that we can decrease. Now, obviously, if we're looking to increase our bottom line here, which is our profit, right now we're at 12,800 roughly per day in profit. Well, if we want to increase that, we can either increase our revenue, which we were just looking at doing by changing our pricing, or we can come in and reduce our cost. Production line costs are one of the ways we can do that, and by researching this initial upgrade of the 3 available, we'll get a 10% decrease in production line cost. Now, in order to determine if that's going to actually help us out, we need to come over here and look and see what we're paying in cost. So we're going to go to our software company and go to our production lines. So for our social network plugin or USB stick, our total costs are $29.78. Okay, but if we come over to this side, we can see the breakdown of that cost. Worker cost is $20, operating cost $2, and production line cost $7.55. Okay, so most of our costs are in workers. So that's going to be our biggest bang for the buck, is if we work specifically on getting worker costs down. So if we, for instance, reduce the production line cost by 10%, that's only going to get us about 75 cents saving per item. Now, that's going to add up, obviously. We will want to do that eventually, but right now, the biggest bang for our buck is to reduce worker cost. So let's go back in here. Oh, and as you can see, workforce is almost maxed out, which means we're going to be able to increase our production here momentarily. But let's go into company research and let's see if there's a way for us to lower our worker cost. And sure enough, here we go. Worker salary. And it looks like it's got 3 total levels. And the first level will give us a 10% decrease in worker cost. Excellent. That's what we're looking for. Now, obviously, in real life, this would be horrible. I mean, if you're a company in real life and you're saying, hey, if we can just cut our worker salaries by 10% and increase our bottom line, that would be a terrible idea. And our workforce research is now completed, so it's moved on to the next one in the queue, which is the game controller. But for game purposes, it's good that we can get our worker salary down. But it looks like before we can do that, we need to decrease our building construction costs. Okay, not really where I wanted to go, unfortunately, but we need it in order to get to worker salary, so I'm good with it. Okay, now we have the ability to get more workers, and you can see that here as we've now 10 additional workers that we can hire. So we're going to use this opportunity to increase our production from 125. Let's see what the new max is, 166. Okay, I'm going to jot that number down off to the side because we'll need that number. Do we want to hire the additional workers? Absolutely we do. And so the good thing is we don't have to change our transportation routes. That's all taken care of. We just upgraded our line. All right, and so let's come in here, additional workers. And so now we're looking at PC games. We're going from 89 to 119. Okay, excellent. Write that number down because we'll need that in the future. Let's go to our final production line, which is also doing PC games. So that's another 119. Ooh, and we just got our game controller done in our research. So excellent. That is huge for us because let's see, let me jot down our last 119. So let's go ahead. I've been waiting on this because I want to add another company. So let's go ahead and come to our available buildings, come down to software company. I'm going to hold down the shift and scroll the middle mouse wheel. And let's get this in here. Right there is good. So they're going to get started building that for us. And this is where we're going to make our console games. All right, so we're going to let that move along here in just a second. We're going to run over and check on our pricing and see how that's doing. Because we've now given it a few days here. This is plenty of time. Okay, so we've got 12 units. So selling 96. That's not bad. 96 there, 21 here. As you can see, we got some units stored there. And then 46 being sold here. So we're selling all of them. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's do some quick math here. So we're selling 94 at our first store, 24 at our second store, and 46 at our final store. We're selling 164 right now out of 166 that we're making. And that is what I wanted to see. All right, so let's go back to our first store, check on our PC game, and let's do the same thing. Let's see how things are stacking up. So we're selling 182 here and only 4 units stored, so that's excellent. We're selling 18 here and only 5 units stored. Oh, we've got a progress report to take a look at. And finally 50 at the final place. So we've got 250 that we're selling. We're making about 238. So we're actually selling into some of our stock at this point. All right, so I'm going to actually increase this price a little bit. My goal here is to basically sell every day as many as we're making. So that's the end goal. So let's take a look at our progress report. Can we go ahead and, yeah, we can go ahead and let time pass as we look at this. So we've got our 2 competitors here. The balance in our bank account, as you can see down here, is 5.5 million. OmniWorks is 13.3 million, so they've got quite a bit of cash. And then DFX Corp has 2.7. Okay, so they're down quite a bit on cash. Our company values at 21.9, then we got 26, and then 24. So we're in last place there. However, that's not everything. We've got revenue, nice revenue we've got coming in so far. We are more than twice our competitor there, which means that essentially it looks like we've spent a lot of money on production, whereas they have not. So let's see if that turns out to be the case. All right, research. We've got more research going than the others. We've got more buildings. You can see here, 21 million versus 11 and 15. So we got more buildings. Nobody's advertising just yet. Workers, oh, we're spending a whole lot more in workers. So yeah, we've just got a huge amount of production going on right now. And looks like they are focusing more on, yeah, they're focusing on a single area, a single product and sector, whereas we are focused on production and really moving things along. Okay, that is exactly what I wanted to see. Let's go to these and see what we've got. It just occurred to me, I'm not sure if I remembered to increase all of my production lines. Did I? Oh, we've got our new area open here. We're going to go ahead and upgrade the workforce. So we can use, instead of 10, we can use all 40. And then we're going to upgrade for video games because the line that we're going to want to add is the console game. Interesting. Oh, those are the features. Those are what we unlocked earlier. So it looks like each one's going to cost us about $32.79. Okay, so we've got this going. And let's see how many of these we want to make per day. That's going to be, looks like 115. Not sure how you get 0.94 of a product, but that's okay. All right, so do you want to hire the workers? Absolutely we do. And we want to make these of the highest quality. So our $70.19 is our cost. We need to set up a transportation avenue. Otherwise, they will just stay within the company and never get sold anywhere. Okay, so we've got our transport route set up to our warehouse, but now we need somewhere to sell them. And in this case, we need to set up another shop. So we go back to our warehouse and choose our new product, the console game. And our cost per unit is showing 68. So that's a little bit of a variation from what we saw before. All right, so we're going to let this go ahead and get started being sold and see how the numbers turn out. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get this product set up at our other cities. Again, this really is not necessary at this point in the game for sure. Okay, so we're producing 100 and call it 115 per day. And as you can see, we're selling these things quick. I'm not even sure. Yeah, so the others have a couple, but they're really not selling anymore because they don't have an opportunity to get any. Okay, let's see how we're doing on research. We are researching the tool development kit, which if we come back over here, that is, oh, so we've gotten the increased information storage and game controller. Okay, so we're farther along than I thought. So next in line is going to be the security protocols, and then we'll move over to building costs, which will enable in our case, the worker salary. Okay, that is excellent. All right, and then we can move on to some other things. But for now, I want to see, wow, we are flying through this research. So I want to see, all right, so we've got software company. I tell you what, before we do this, let's go into, and we're not going to actually add a new line, but we're going to pretend like we are. So right now we can do media development. All right, so we could make that. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And to do that, we need to come down here to our company, available buildings, and do software company. So I am actually going to add that right in behind here. Okay, let them get started building that. All right, so software development kit is done. As you can see right now, we do not have enough money. It's $3 million to build another software company, so we're not quite there yet. All right, so let's go back over, and while that's being worked on, let's go ahead and see how we're doing here. We're selling, keep in mind, of these console games, we're making 114.94 or 115 per day. And these things are being sold very quickly. Okay, so we can go, I tell you what, let's go ahead and just take a chance and set a price of 100 there because they're selling very quickly. And let's see if maybe if we overshot that and put our price a little bit too high. one way to find out, and we're going to give it a shot right now. In the meantime, let's go ahead and check on our other products. And looks like we're in good shape here. Looks like we're in good shape for sure. Yeah, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We're not getting a huge number of units stored. All right, so one of the things I wanted to get to in this video, it looks like we're not going to have an opportunity not to do a whole lot of it anyway, but I wanted to take a look at the stock market. Now, as you can see here, we've got our three competitors here. So we've got our company, then OmniWorks, and then DayFX. So what do we see here? Well, the company values dictate the share value because we got 1,000 shares and you can't sell off any more than 50% of your company or you get taken over by the new company because they have decision-making authority. So right here we can see this particular company available on the stock market 50%. So they are selling half of their company on the market. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Then we've got DayFX is selling 2% of their company on the market. So and then of course we don't have any shares for sale, which we could do in order to raise some additional money, but I really don't want to take out any bank loans or anything like that. So we may come back to OmniWorks and see if we can't purchase some of that stock. We'll have to think about that, but that is very intriguing to me. All right, so now we're ready for production line. First things first, let's open up our upgrades for workers so we can use more than 10. Do not want to upgrade for video game because I don't think that'll be necessary. All right, so media development is going to have that cost associated with it. So we're going to create that. Let's go ahead and change our quality to the maximum for now. And how many of these can we make? Okay, so it looks like we can make 21 per day. All right, that'll work. And do we want to hire the workers necessary for this? Absolutely, we do. So they'll go ahead and get started on that. And we need to make a route to a warehouse. And there we go. Now we got our route set up to a warehouse. And now we need to have somewhere to sell it. So let's go back to the city and open up a shop with our new media development product. All right, so it's $357 cost, $472 selling price. That'll be interesting to see how many of those sell. And again, we're going to go ahead and set up the shop in all three cities, even though there's no real reason to do so right now. I'm going to do it mainly so that I don't forget to do it later. Okay, so we're making 21 to 22 a day, and we're already selling 22. So I'm going to go ahead and I tell you what, I am going to take a chance and really run this price up higher. And let's see, make sure that takes in all of the stores. It does. All right, our other products seem to really be doing well, even with my price increases. You can see our profit is now up close to 30,000, where it was well below that earlier. So we're in good shape. I like where we're headed. And let's go in and let's see with our new research what's added. Okay, so we don't have any new products yet. Let's take a look at our research and see where we're at. So we're at building costs right now, which means that as soon as that's done, we'll be able to come over and hit worker salary. Okay, but let's come back to our products and see what else we might want to go up on. So we got one here, and so we're going to want to do system control, one there, data mining, one there, and then speech recognition, virtual AI assistant. If we look on our software company under the production tree, we can see that virtual AI assistant is going to require a lot. I mean, we're going to have to build farms and mines and animal ranches and chemical factories and metal forges and all sorts of stuff. So that is very much a late game item. These other items, though, if you'll notice, they only require some research. Okay, so we've already got console games and PC games going. We're shortly should have antivirus and educational software going. So we're going the right direction for sure. But virtual AI assistant, I don't think it's going to happen for us for a very long time. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, let's go see what our messages have to say. Oh, so we've got our competitors researching biotech and pills and all sorts of stuff like that. All right, so now we've got OmniWorks is researching software. So now they're going to be a direct competitor with us. So now it's not just about making more money than them to try to beat them. It's also going to be about competing directly in the same space with them. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Okay. All right, looks like we're running a little bit low on time here. We're at 3.5 million, which is good because, let's come back out of that for just a moment. It's good because if we go to our available buildings, in order to build another software company, I need $3 million. So I am very much in expansion mode right now and trying to get as many different products available on the market as I can. Speaking of which, let's come back and see how our new product is selling. So looks like, okay, so we've got a couple of units available in storage. But realistically, that doesn't look bad at all to me. That just doesn't, let's open that back up. That doesn't look bad at all. So we're doing okay. That's not the type of margin that I would want to have on this. I would want to have more, but not every product is going to allow us that. But I can definitely see that the social network plugin is giving us that, because as you can see, if we doubled our money here and had 100% markup, that would be roughly $60, and we're well above that, so we're in good shape there. Here, we're not doing too bad, but we're not quite at double, which would put us up around 130 bucks. But as you can see, we may have some room here to move things along and increase that price even further. Because right now we're selling, of the PC games, we're making 238 per day, and it looks like 17 and then 51. So yeah, so we're selling a lot. We're selling all of those. I think we got room to increase there as well. So, and then we look at our console games. We've got 115 of these. As you can see, we're not storing these things. They are being sold. Yeah, so we've got room here. Let's go ahead and we'll save that for our next video, our third Let's Play video. So I think we're going to leave our second video here for our Let's Play series. And I hope you'll stay tuned for more of Industry Manager Future Technologies.